You're this perp back with another video, and I just got done checking out the first episode of Sunny. This is a brand new series on Apple TV Plus, starring Rashida Jones. She plays Susie Sakamoto, and what's so fascinating about this first episode, they don't waste any time like drawing you in. The minute this thing starts, right, it fades into black, and all you hear is these screams and these bloody sound effects and a robot. This robot is literally massacring all these people, and the last kind of words you hear is nobody's going to know of this. Then we're introduced to Rashida Jones's character and who else looks like to be her mother-in-law, and they're pretty much dealing with she's pretty much dealing with the loss of her husband and her son. And it's told in this episode that they passed away from a plane crash, and she's going to this like thing, whatever. And I really like Susie's character in this because she really reminds me of Nora Durst in The Leftovers. That was Carrie Coon's character, how she's just very nonchalant. She's very she doesn't have really much of a filter. And I also like the technology that's kind of slightly used, where to translate, you just put this little device in your ear, and the person could hear you if they're speaking Japanese and she's speaking English. They can translate one another and stuff like so. There's a lot of slight, um, technologies like that on top of the robots. Like it's almost looking like the Jetsons out here. Not quite, no flying cars or anything like that, but it seems like there's a huge emphasis on technology in this series. And her whole life, she thought her husband made fridges, but then she starts to realize, more and more, there's things about her husband she did not know about. And one thing leads to the next, where this guy kind of that works with her husband, she is given a robot named Sunny, and it's this assistant robot, has all these arms that always follows her around. And fun fact, not really fun, but they mentioned earlier on in the episode that she lost her mother to a self-driving car, so she already has this disdain for technology and robots and stuff like that. So as the episode continues and she goes kind of through this process, because she's with a bunch of other people that lost their lives in this plane crash. And here's where another piece of technology comes into play, where it's kind of interesting that they have these little recordings, whatever, for all the people that have passed away. But for some odd reason, Susie, there's none from her husband. So there's just weird things on top of weird things that start to kind of come into mind and come into play, especially when she arrives at like this bar and she starts to have this conversation with this bartender, and sex gets brought up. And that one thing leads to the next, where they start kind of talking about how there's this robot that killed this high official, but they were saying it wasn't really an accident. They were trying to make it look like an accident. And she ends up later on in this episode, towards the end, going to this party for, it's kind of like a work party, I guess. And it seemed like nobody really cared about Masa, that's the husband's name, his death or anything like that. They don't really know him, or she's learning a lot of things about her husband she didn't know. But once she kind of wanders off on her own and goes downstairs and sees where at the beginning of the episode where all these people got killed, she sees like kind of blood stains and whatnot. So they didn't even clean that up. So now she's really suspicious, seeing things that she probably shouldn't have seen. And I really like this first episode because it gives you something to lock on. in the beginning with just the violence. I was like, whoa, I didn't expect that. So now that it seems like she's going to start to dig a little bit deeper into what was going on with her husband and whatnot, it's going to get a little bit dangerous for her. Exactly what is the motive of this company and stuff, we still don't know about that. There's a second episode. They put out 2 episodes on Apple TV Plus. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking the rest of this out. I'm fascinated by it. It's only like 30 minutes, 32 minutes long if you take out the credits or something like that. It's really fascinating. I like Rashida Jones' character in this. I'm curious to see where this story goes. Also, how Sunny is going to play in this is like they're going to have to kind of team up and whatnot to figure out this whole entire mystery, and she'll kind of grow attached to Sunny to some extent because, like I said, she hates robots, she hates like technology and whatnot in that case. So it's a really strong first episode. I would recommend checking this out for yourself if you haven't. But if you have seen it, let me know your thoughts of this first episode. Did it really lock you in, or did you need to watch both episodes to kind of really gauge the story, the characters, and where this story is going to go? But yeah, I'm going to definitely go check out episode 2. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments below. Till next time, I'm out.